It's Atlanta's #1 hip hop station, Hot 107.9. Reec right here with hot new talent. I don't know if I should say really new, but it's kind of new.
It's new. It's new.
It's new enough. BIBI Bourelly is in the building. What's up, mama?
How are you?
I'm great, man. I heard the song Ballin the first time. And then you see the name, you see the title, and you're like, okay, another one of these records. But when I hear what you're saying, I am shocked and surprised and refreshed.
Thank you.
How did the record come about?
Just 19, broke, applied for a job, didn't get the job.
And then the rest is history.
Yeah, and wrote a song about it. Like teenage kind of broke. Never really, really, really actually broke.
Yeah.
But like,
if you wanted to do something extra, you couldn't do it.
Yeah. Asked all my friends for 10 cents so I could get so I could have $2.
Who gave you this idea instead of just asking one person for $1? Everybody has 10 cents.
Yeah, everyone has 10 cents, and you don't got to pay it back.
There it is. She's a smart businesswoman already. All right, now tell me about early life growing up. Your dad is a huge musician.
Yeah.
He travels the world.
Yes.
Is music part of the program when you're a child?
For sure. It was just, I was born into it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I understand the language of music the same way I understand the English language.
Uh-huh.
Like, I was exposed to music, actually, before I was exposed to English. I believe that as a baby, you can internalize music before you can internalize words.
They say that sometimes playing like classical music to a pregnant woman and things like that really influences the kids. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
You're beyond your years. We're just gonna say that right now. So definitely a heavy music influence. Now you moved back and forth quite a bit from Europe to America.
Yes.
How does that influence you as an artist?
It exposes you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You become an adaptive person.
Mm-hmm.
You become somebody who can sit in a room with anybody and observe and take things in.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody that's attentive and that allows all forms of information to come in.
Right.
Despite whether or not they're old or young or rich or poor or black or white or whatever.
I got you. And does that kind of come out with the pen game?
For sure. Because as an artist, my form of art is writing music and writing stories or whatever I write.
Mm-hmm.
You have to feel everything.
Right.
You have to be able to feel everything.
I
You
see.
can't just say you can't just expose yourself to one thing. You know what I mean? In order to connect to everyone, you have to feel everyone.
And that do you think that makes you relatable to so many different people when you're writing and people want your stuff? Like they want a BIBI Bourelly written song for them.
Yeah.
You think that's because you can embody different people based on your experiences?
I think that I can express different sides of myself. I'm a very intricate person. I'm a very layered person.
Right.
And there's very many dimensions to my personality.
Right.
A lot of contradictions. And I think that because it's different sides of myself, it sounds genuine. As opposed to me embodying something I'm not. I'm just a lot, right?
Just doing you, and it's a lot of different people in that one person.
Exactly. And I think that that's why people like it, because it sounds true and it's different.
I was gonna say that when I hear your songs, not now when I listen to other songs you've penned with a different ear, because when I listen to you, I see a younger person, but I hear a lot of pain.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of genuineness in your vocals.
Yeah.
I know you lost your mom early, and you moved a lot, and you're back and forth with different family, and you're trying to find yourself. All of this I hear when you sing. Do you feel that?
Yeah, for sure. I think that we're all trying to find ourselves. I think that we are all trying to find ourselves. I think that I'm a very obsessed person, and I have an undying passion for life and for feelings and for things. And I think that, internally, we all deal with turmoil,
Right.
you know, of trying to discover ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know how to hide that.
So you're almost the voice to the little girl who may be going through what you went through.
Yeah, who is
Going through.
who 110% is in a different, maybe not the exact same circumstance,
Mm-hmm.
but in a different circumstance.
I
I think that we
understand.
all feel pain the same.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Even
you're
if
hurt.
it's coming from a different place.
Yeah.
So do you feel like you have a quote unquote social responsibility almost when it comes to like people younger than you that may be dealing with pain, quote unquote, as you put it?
With people older than me, with people. You have yes, if you understand something and you have the ability to express what you feel, you have to. You know what I mean? You can't not. You have to. Because through expression, there's evolution.
Right.
We grow. You're not, I just feel like you're not allowed to keep the things that you know to yourself.
It's the only way to be able to elevate.
Yeah, you gotta help push people forward. And you know, you have to help set, sounds corny, but set people free. You know?
Well, I think you're beyond your years because you've already figured out your calling.
Yeah.
And I think that you're going to help a lot of people heal through your voice. That's what I hear.
Thank you.
And I'm nobody, but that's what I hear.
But you know what? I think that sometimes, you know, at the beginning when I used to talk about this, I would get confused. When I was a kid, even I would get confused, and people said, "Oh, BIBI, you're lucky because you found your calling." I didn't even process or register. You know, I think that I'm just very intuitive, and I don't think I'm calculating. I think I just do what I feel, and I think that if we all just did what we felt, and we were all true to who we were,
Right.
like we would also feel like we found our calling. You know, but because we try to conform and we try to follow,
we move off of influence, off of acceptance a lot of times.
Yeah.
And I don't see that. From what I see, I don't see that with you. I see you move off of what you think is the right thing to do for you, and it works for other people.
Yeah.
If you just tune in, we with BIBI Bourelly right now. Performer of Ballin,
Yes.
Riot,
Yes.
Ego.
Yes.
These names, I love these one name songs that you come up with. It's like, it's here, this is the name of it.
You know, it's like, this is what it's about.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that's it. Just short and sweet. Now, almost fresh out of high school, you're thrown in the room with Kanye West. What is going through your head at this point? Because you know why you're there. Are you there? They say you're going in here to write. And you're with Kanye West. What is going through your head?
Pressure. Huge amount of pressure. But, you know, the coolest story about Kanye was that the first time I went in, I was 19, excited to be there, felt very, very pressurized. Not because anyone was putting pressure on me, but because it's like, all right, this is going to change your life, right?
You were one of the biggest producers in the world at the time.
Yeah. I wrote a song that I thought people would like. And he came in and he heard it immediately and he was like, no. And left. I thought I'd ruined my career, right? Walked out, crushed, right? Then got a call, oh, you should try again. Long story short, I tried again and just did what I felt.
Right.
Right? And it worked.
Not what people like, with what made sense for you.
What made sense for me. And it changed my life. So
say it again. You went in there and you wrote what was right for you.
Yeah.
And it what?
And it changed my life. It changed my life. And that sounds corny, but it did. Like, it did.
No, that's real. That sounds real to me.
Yeah. And at that moment, it was because throughout my life, that's been a reoccurring pattern. You know what I mean? It's not that I'm like anti-people and I'm like belligerent.
Right.
It's just that throughout my life, I've, you know, been observing enough to read the signs. And every single time I do what I feel, it don't steer me wrong. You know what I mean? I don't.
You know what that's called?
What?
Great instincts.
Thank you.
That's what it's called. You have great instincts.
Thank you. Yeah, maybe. But, so I just encourage everyone to do what they feel, because even if you don't get $1 million and you don't win the lottery, you walk away with yourself still in you.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't drain yourself. You know what I mean? You walk away with power still.
I got you.
You know?
I got you. We're right here right now with BIBI Bourelly, who has great instincts. And that's big, man. A lot of people, they overthink things.
Yeah.
A lot of people, when they know the right thing to do, you walk in the room, you say, I
Yeah.
shouldn't be here. And then you stay anyway.
Yeah.
Instead of just leaving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're talking to music now. Let's fast forward a little bit. You write Better Have My Money
Yeah.
for Rihanna. But it wasn't for Rihanna.
I just wrote it. I just wrote the song.
And it was for you.
I don't know. I don't think of music in terms of, that's such adults are weird.
Right.
Because when you're pure, when you're a kid, you just make what you make.
Right.
Hey, look at what I
It's
made.
for the world.
It's for whatever. I don't know. Like, I just made it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I never thought like, oh, I'm gonna come out with this song, or I'm gonna shop this to so and so. It was never that. I just made the song. I was broke. I was drunk. I made the song. You know what I mean?
Right.
And said whatever I felt at the time. And
Right.
whatever I expressed myself. So, yeah, I think that it's important to stay. This is gonna sound corny again, but it's important to stay childlike. You know what I mean? Like,
I think it keeps you from putting too much pressure on yourself.
Yeah.
From outside influence.
Yeah.
So yeah, I see. So when Rihanna, one of the biggest names in the world, likes the song, what happens?
She takes the song. You know what I mean? She cuts the song.
Right. How do you feel when you hear this song all over the world? Like, I don't need I want the BIBI Bourelly. When I hear my music and other people, when other people's voice and I hear my music and it's changing the influence of the way radio is played, what do you feel?
I don't know. You know what I mean? I have no idea. I don't know. It's very intricate. It's very complicated. It's bittersweet. Thankful is one of them. Right? Gosh, me, this, like, wow, thank you. Bittersweet, right? Like, you just kind of gave a little bit of yourself away. Honored. You know, that you've learned, you know, that I've learned how to share. And not only that, somebody, you know, believed in me enough to give me a platform, because, you know, props to Ree and all them, even, you know, Ye, like, I have no credits. You see what I'm saying? That was a risk too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That wasn't I'm not a traditional artist or creator.
Right.
You know? A lot of the suits that I played music for was like, she's too ratchet, or she's too, you know.
Too edgy for what, maybe.
Yeah, for mainstream. You know? She's not ready. So, you know, it opened up a lot of opportunities.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because when people that credible co-sign you, it opens up doors.
Yeah.
You know? And then another part is just like privileged a little.
A little privileged.
A little.
The doors open a little faster.
Yeah.
Oh, that's who wrote.
Yeah, and you feel kind of like, well, I just know how many amazing people there are in the world, and how many amazing talented artists there are in the world, and creators there are in the world that don't have the same opportunities, you know?
Right.
Or get the same acknowledgement, you know? So you kind of feel like, you know? I mean, oh, dang, like.
Right.
You know?
Why me?
Yeah.
But it is you.
Yeah.
BIBI Bourelly right here. We're talking Ballin. We're talking a little bit of her history. And man, fast forward into the future. What is coming up next? You got to deal with Def Jam, which is it's a label deal.
Yes.
Okay, distribution deal.
Yes. Did your research.
In a world of digital distribution, you're gonna be everywhere. You are everywhere. Talk to me about this. How is it different working with the machine, quote unquote?
Def Jam has been incredibly supportive. Very, 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 very lucky to have the manager I have and to be in a position where the label actually supports me and stands behind me and fights for me. Pressure, though. A lot of pressure.
But you're good.
Yeah, a lot of pressure. You know what I mean? I'm not going to lie. So, I'm very simple. I'm a very complicated woman, but I'm a very simple person.
Right.
You know, I just say what I feel and do what I want. And yeah. So when the older you get, when your surroundings turn into a bunch of people with rules.
Yeah.
That's what when you're younger, you're fully, there's a bunch of, I'm still young, right?
Right.
But when you're not working.
Without the structured environment.
Yeah, you're still around a bunch of youth and people who are free. You know what I mean? When you enter a world where people have kids and they got bills and they got debts and they have, egos to maintain and uphold.
The dynamic changes.
Right. And you have to kind of remember to stay normal, to stay sane.
And keep your art pure.
Keep yourself pure, your body, yourself, you. Because you know what? Careers are fragile. Superficial things are fragile. Life in itself is fragile. Here today, gone tomorrow. I'm going to still be making music.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? If I was broke on the street and I didn't have a penny in my pocket, I promise you on everything I love, I would be playing guitar on the street. And that's all my life. You know what I mean? So this is really what I do.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you have to remind yourself of that. Like, okay, but don't get it twisted. Like, this is you. This is who you are.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you got to protect that.
They say that the thing that you love, you would do without or not for money.
I would
still do it.
I would.
But
I would.
I know it feels good to get a check while you're doing it, though.
It does every now and then, but I would. It actually, to be honest, the moment you can start getting paid for something, it takes some of the magic away from it. So it's important to just remember that, this is who you are. Like, this is who you are. You know what I mean? And my goal is, like, I wish we could function in the world, man. This might sound hippie and again corny, but I wish we could function in the world without money. I wish
it would take a lot of crime away. I promise you that one right there.
Yeah,
it would.
Yeah, I wish we all could just take what we needed.
Right.
And that's it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But,
BIBI Bourelly for president 2024. Hey, we're gonna wrap up in a second because I know you on the move. You are on the run.
Yes.
But I see you got special people with you.
Yes.
There's either your bodyguard with a shotgun in that bag, or he's a guitar player.
Yeah.
He's the guitar player.
Yes.
Come on up to the mic. So what's your name, man? Dan the man. Dan, come up to the mic real quick. Oh, he pulled it out. All right. Okay, Dan. So when we go to a BIBI Bourelly show, it's live instrumentation?
For sure.
She said for sure. No other
3
way.
boys. Dan, Artie, and Mason.
Dan, Artie, and Mason. What does Artie do?
Plays the bass.
And Mason is the drummer. Why is every drummer named Mason? I'm just kidding. So Dan comes out. Does he start stringing?
Sometimes.
Dan, what is the first thing you play at a BIBI Bourelly concert?
Oh, a lot of loud noises.
Yeah, a lot.
Let me hear some loud noises, Dan. This is a first.
Acoustic. It's a baby guitar.
It's fine. This is organic. This is the first time this has ever been done at Hot 107.9 with the acoustic. Dan is Spanish. I just want you to know that.
And then I come out and do like the cha-cha.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
And that's the show. I love it, man. So I would ask you guys to do a quick performance, but I don't have a check. I don't have a check on me. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut the interview. If you want to see Dan play a little bit and maybe BB sing Reec, you gotta watch the video, man. Shout out my boy Starter Cam. This Hot 107. I appreciate you guys.
Okay, cool. Thank you.